As IUCN Bonn Challenge Ambassador since 2012, I have seen the tremendous benefits of forest landscape restoration as a tool to mitigate climate change and spur sustainable, inclusive, and equitable development. The restoration movement is growing rapidly, driven by countries and organizations around the world, with the Bonn Challenge providing the engine and umbrella for this movement, with INGI at the helm. Achieving the 150 million hectares milestone in May 2017, ahead of the 2020 schedule, was a historical landmark for the Bonn Challenge. Achieving this goal ahead of time is indicative of the growing awareness of the benefit of forest landscape restoration. Restoring forests help us ensure food, water, and livelihood security for vulnerable communities. It generates economic opportunities for business and governments and preserve biodiversity, while at the same time providing climate change mitigation and adaptation benefits. It is a real win-win effort. I can't emphasize enough that the Bonn Challenge had great powers to effect changes at every level of society by restoring degraded and deforested landscape. Governments, companies, organizations, and private landowners are providing a cornucopia of benefits and contributing to achieving diverse national and international objectives. The Bonn Challenge will contribute to water security, agricultural adaptation, and helps countries progress towards the Sustainable Development Goals. The Bonn Challenge will benefit people everywhere, including the world poorest and most vulnerable. It will create jobs, safer water supply, and more climate-resilient crops. Somebody, you may ask to yourself, why is she so enthusiastic about the Bonn Challenge? I am, because I have seen the result, because I believe that it is one of the answers to tackle climate change, because I believe that it can bring changes to communities and to people throughout the world in those countries where governments have made the pledges. Contributors to the Bonn Challenge are supported by a host of organizations, many of whom are members of the Global Partnership on Forest Landscape Restoration, which are providing policy and technical guidance, building frameworks for implementation, and unlocking finance for restoration projects. NGOs, governments, associations, scientific experts, communities and individuals are all working together to support a common goal: the restoration of degraded and deforested landscape, breathing life back into brownfield sites for a wide variety of purposes: agriculture, protected wildlife reserves, ecological corridors, regenerated forests, managed plantation, agroforestry system, and river or lakeside plantings to protect waterway. What is different about the Bonn Challenge? And I remember at the beginning when people didn't understand what the Bonn Challenge was all about, was that people used to say restoration. What does that mean in relation to deforestation? This is not just about reforestation. Reforestation is good, but the restoration of degraded and deforested land puts people and community at the center, and that's why I believe so much in this project. The collaborative spirit displayed by countries and organizations has brought us to this turning point. The Bonn Challenge has surpassed the 150 million hectares milestone with pledges from countries as diverse as Brazil, the United States, Guatemala, Ethiopia, India, China, Colombia, the Democratic Republic of Congo, among many more. We have no time for me to tell you all of the countries that are really involved. Unfortunately, not all these restoration champions can be here with us today at COP23, but I am grateful for the opportunity to shine a light on the leadership and pay tribute to the determination to achieve the Bonn Challenge target, and most importantly, to bring hope and prosperity to their communities. Today, we are very proud to be able to welcome 2 new pledges. We will hear from these new restoration leaders in just a few moments. The Honorable Minister Vincent Biruta announcing a pledge from the Kigali Declaration, and the representative from Nigeria, Mrs. Halima Bawa Bugari, which you will be hearing from very soon, and the Honorable Undersecretary Ricardo Hernandez Sanchez will be announcing a pledge from the state of Chiapas, Mexico. I welcome you to the Bonn Challenge family. We will also hear about how restoration leadership has really taken off at a regional scale in Africa. We have already achieved over 160 million hectares in pledges to the Bonn Challenge, surpassing the 150 million hectares goal. Now we must achieve the target of 350 million hectares ahead of the 2030 deadline. I hope we will do, and that you will help us to achieve that, transforming degraded and deforested landscape to tackle climate change and improve the lives of women, men and children everywhere throughout the world. It should be our objective. We must do it for us, for our children, and our children's children, and for future generations. Thank you very much.